everybody, I'm Merisusheep, and thank you so much for checking out this video. And today, it is my 299th speed paint here on YouTube. Yay! That means my next speed paint will be my 300th. Oh my goodness, I can't even think about that, and because I can't think of that, I'm just not gonna think about it. Right now, we're working on our 299th, and for my 299th, I thought it would be very fitting to draw my original character, Misato Yushoku, from my original story, Revolution of Full Color. And also, it is probably going to be my 300th speed paint too. I'm probably gonna draw her again, only will be a little bit more focused on Revolution of Full Color, whereas this is just kind of a fun illustration that I wanted to do. But like I said, we'll focus more on my 300th when that comes up. Oh my goodness, I can't even believe I finally reached my goal. Although I am a little late, because my 200th, I wrote a schedule out from the very beginning, and my 300th was supposed to come out on the 24th, and this one was supposed to come out on the 18th, but life happens, and it just didn't happen. So, we're a little late, but honestly, I don't care. I want this to be enjoyable, so I'm just not gonna stress about it. And it's no big deal anyway. It's not like there was any reward that I would get for accomplishing this goal. It was just something that I wanted to do myself. And I am still very happy with it, because to be honest, I wasn't even sure if I would be able to do this many speed paints in this short amount of time. But I did it. And I worked at a much more faster pace than I ever did in a long time. Not since the beginning of me starting YouTube had I worked at this fast of a pace. But I managed to pull it off. But because I did kind of get slow at the end, my 300 probably won't come out until the middle of July. I said this in a YouTube post, so that is probably what I'm going to aim for, because I don't see it happening at the end of June, and I don't want to rush it. I want to take it slow. I want it to be good. I don't want to half-ass it. I want it to be something that's very special, because I actually am still really proud of my 200th speed paint, which was of my original character, Kyla Lucidian. I mean, yeah, my art's definitely improved then, but I am still happy with it. I really do like how she turned out, and I want my 300th to be the same way, where it's like, okay, I can see the improvement, but I'm still happy with it, considering. It's the same thing with my Sally the Ragdoll drawing. Sally the Ragdoll and Emily from Corpse Bride. The very third speed paint I did on this channel, that was, I definitely obviously see the improvement, but considering that was like in the same year I was learning digital art, I don't think it's actually that bad. I think it's actually kind of cute. But anyway, moving on to this drawing. For the pose, as you can see, I wasn't sure what to do with the jacket. Well, the pose itself, I was very sure about. I knew that I wanted her hand on the edge of the canvas as if she's using it to pull herself out and to be literally stepping out of it. And I wanted her hand to be to her lips as if she's saying, shh. I don't know why. It just looks cute. I don't know why she's telling the viewer to be quiet, but maybe like, I know I'm hopping out of the canvas, but be quiet. Don't speak. That's what I get from looking at it. Is that what would be happening? I don't know, but it does look really nice, so I like it. But for the jacket, I first was going to make it open, then I was going to make it closed, but in the end I decided to go for a compromise and make it open, but the hoodie be on her head. And that is really kind of the biggest struggle when drawing Misato. I was like, I like her jacket closed because, well, one thing, it's easier to draw, and also I like the hoodie when it's over her head, because I love the cat ears, because it really does convey a lot of her personality just in that small detail. But I also like the Biohazard logo that is on her chest, so I like that to be seen. So it's like, I really wanted to be seen, so I decided to go for a nice, happy compromise, and I'm very happy with it. As for the coloring style, I was trying to go for a vibe that was very similar to the artist Mika Pikazoa. Really brilliant illustrator, and I love her style, how it's very, in my own imaginary words, paintedly, but still got a very kind of pop vibe, and the colors just explode, and there's so much detail, and there's so many things like patterns and flowers and stuff, and I was just really, really trying to match that vibe here. And did I succeed? No, but I did at least put some of myself into it. But, that is kind of actually, to be honest, the struggle. Well, not struggle, that sounds way too hard. I don't want to say, like, challenge either, but, more of the test. Kind of the test. That doesn't sound really right either. Challenge? I don't know. It's always the game that I play when I'm drawing Misato, is I'm trying to figure out what kind of coloring style to use, because she does have very bright, vibrant colors, so sometimes using muted colors doesn't look right. I have drawn her with muted colors before, and it actually does look pretty nice, but it's like, do I use this kind of coloring style? Do I use this kind of coloring style? I want to try to figure out if she looks better with a style that is more paintedly or a style that's more smooth and cel shady. Does she look good in a style that's more retro pop? Always kind of figuring out what works, trying to test out different ideas, trying to figure out how to draw her best. And I think I did come a long way. It is kind of funny because the very first time I showed Misato Yushoku to a big YouTuber was the YouTuber, or Literature Devil. He was doing a live stream, and the people were showing off their original characters. So I showed off mine, Misato. And I honestly didn't even think it would be reacted to, but it was. And I even recorded the reaction because I was so happy with it. And the first thing he said, if I remember correctly, was that she was colorful. Very colorful. And, yeah, and back then she was even more colorful than she was, because she used to have, her hoodie used to be cyan, but I changed it because of two reasons. One, because she used to have two rectangles on the bottom of her jacket. One was magenta and one was yellow, and then the hoodie would have been cyan, so it would have been completely balanced out. And I really did like it, but the rectangles were kind of hard to keep track of and draw, so I decided to get rid of them altogether, and instead I made the cuffs of her sleeves yellow, and I made the trim of her jacket magenta, and the hoodie was still cyan. And I was like, well, that's actually a lot of cyan on her outfit. And on top of that, I didn't really like the fact that it kind of made her bangs blend in, because her bangs are those two lighter colors of cyan. It just did not look right at all, so I made the hoodie black. I'm definitely happy I made that decision, but I kept the inside of the ear cyan, so that way there wouldn't be the balance, because that was another thing that I was really trying to do when creating Misato, was balance out the colors, make sure I get the proper amount of magenta, yellow, and cyan, because I really did want to make it even. One of my biggest regrets is that I did not put her first speed paint on here. Well, it wasn't a speed paint, it was a mini speed paint, and I didn't put it on YouTube. I put it on Instagram, but I didn't put it on YouTube. The reason why is because I wanted all my drawings to be princess themed, because I was doing one Disney princess per month, and that's all fine and dandy, but the biggest problem is that I didn't even stick to it, because that was my 200 speed paint. My 200 speed paint was right in the middle, so I had to interrupt the princess process anyway, because I had to draw Kyla. And I just realized that I created, oh my goodness, this makes Misato even more fitting for my 300 speed, well, my 299 and my 300 speed paint, is the fact that I did create her in the year that I hit 200 speed paints. So yeah, it just now occurred to me as I was literally saying that. So yay. But like I said, my next 300 illustration will be definitely more Revolution of Full Color themed. It will be more focused around the plot of Revolution of Full Color, hopefully, and maybe I'll even get a good background and stuff. I don't know. I really want to try to get back to making Revolution Full Color, it's just that I'm so scared, because it's like I really don't have any skills in doing this, and the story is something that I am kind of happy with, and I want to try to do my best with it, but it's just not coming to be. But at the same time, I do want to try. I can't promise that I'll get it done with, but I at least want to try. Because it seems like every single time I plan something in my real life, every time I plan something in my YouTube life, something in real life comes up. And so it just it doesn't happen. I literally made that post on YouTube where I was going to say my game plans, and then stuff came up. So whatever, we just take one day at a time. As far as I know, we could be taken over by velociraptors the next day, so I just hold out for take one day at a time, and that is the way we move things in life. But just so you know, if the zombie velociraptor apocalypse does come, I already claimed the Bass Pro Shop as my hideout. No one else can have it. Yes, I might have to fight a few people for it, including my brother, and I am okay with that. I call dibs. It's mine. No one else can have it. Bass Pro Shop is mine. It's the best place to have a hideout. But it won't last if I gotta share it. No shares. Anyway, for Clip Studio Paint's background, I decided that I wanted to make kind of a very naturey, like almost if nature was popping through Clip Studio Paint. So I drew some flowers and some grass and some like moss, and I just kind of put some stuff out, and then I made an explosion of colors to really just make it seem like the picture was coming to life. And yeah, that's something that I've always liked. That is something that is kind of like a happy accident. So when I did first make Misato, you can even see the cat ears on her hoodie. I did say that they were there, and I think you can see a sliver of it, but if you're not me, I don't think you would be able to recognize them without me saying it, because it really does kind of just look like a fold of the hoodie that's on it. But another thing that's always been strong in her aesthetic is butterflies and flowers. And yeah, that's just something that she always likes. Misato's the type of girl who really does like she is definitely the girl who lives in the city, but she would be the type who has like a whole bunch of plants. It's not because she's like a plant freak, like she's not like a Greenpeace freak nature girl. She's just someone who loves beauty, so she would have a whole bunch of plants, a whole bunch of flowers, and she always loves butterflies. Well, sort of. She has an interesting relationship with butterflies because she was once compared to a butterfly by the antagonist of my series, Jilu. So yeah, it's an interesting thing. She likes to see herself more as a cat. She likes looking as butterflies, but she doesn't like it when someone calls her a butterfly, if that makes sense. Speaking of cat, I just drew a little cat on the canvas, and I drew some flowers and some butterflies. Like I said, I really do like the theme. Put in some Japanese style pattern clouds and the swiggly lines, which I don't know what they're called. I'm sorry. My apologies to Japan. I don't know what your patterns are called. And then I just put cyan, magenta, yellow gradient that I made on it, and yeah, just really had a lot of fun doing this. Did it turn out as good as I wanted it to be? No, it never does. But I am still very proud of the way that it looked. I honestly almost wish this was my Clip Studio Paint entry for the last contest they did, because I think this one probably would have did better than the first one that I did. Oh well, I'm gonna enter the next one, because if first you don't succeed, try again, and again, and again, and again, and maybe, hopefully, we might win 10th place. The one thing I did do is I reorganized my brushes, made sure that they were all brushes that I liked, because I noticed that there were some brushes that are showing. It's like, I don't think that would be as visually appealing, so I took a new screenshot of my screen, so that way I could have better brushes being shown here on the side of Clip Studio Paint, and also so my taskbar could be more appropriate. So now you can see Music Bee there, because that's something that I did. I ended up downloading Music Bee because I wanted a better alternative to Media Player. Media Player ain't bad, I love Media Player, but Music Bee is really cool. I really am glad I downloaded it, and I've been having a lot of fun, so yeah, I wanted Music Bee there. Also, I rearranged a few things. I wanted this to be lore accurate as possible. You can also see Angry Birds down there in the corner, because that's a game I've been playing a lot. I love Angry Birds, it's so much fun. And then I decided to add a little glowy glow to them. Added some colors to Clip Studio Paint. That's something I really don't like. The logo on Clip Studio Paint on my tablet changed. It is now like a kind of rainbowy gradient color, and I really like it, but it didn't change. It hasn't changed for my PC. Maybe if I get version 5. I just got version 4 because I was a little behind. So maybe when I get version 5, maybe it will. I don't know. But for now, it was just pretty much me finishing up the final touches. And yeah, there you have it, the drawing. My 200 for 99 speed paint. I am still really happy with it. Hopefully it won't take me that long to get my 300th. July's right around the corner, so I don't know how far it will be. Until then, though, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, do all the YouTube things, like, comment, and subscribe. And if you did not, thank you so much for watching this far anyway. It means a lot to me either way. And I will be back with another one, hopefully real soon. Until then, oh, and I forgot to mention, since I do want my 300th speed paint to be a little bit special, I am holding off on it. So in the meantime, I thought I would re-upload some of my speed paints as shorts. I also have a few other things that I want to do in between. I don't want to say what they are because I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to do them, but just stay tuned. Yeah, 300 speed paint will probably be, maybe it might even be July 17th, so that is Misato's birthday. I don't know. We will just have to wait and see. Until then, bye!